Before I start, I just want you to know that today's image is from my coloring book, Coloring Dreams.
Hi, it's Dia. Today I'm going to color this picture from, well, I'm going to color portions of the flowers of this picture with neon jumbo colored pencils and see what it looks like to color in a coloring book using only neon pencils. I'm going to also do an image a little bit later in the week where I'm going to use Staples neon highlighters, like literally highlighters that you can use from school or to highlight any of your work stuff. So, okay, right off the bat, these are similar to the CraZart swirled pencils in the way they're sharpened. I like to use them right out of the box just because not everybody has a sharpener for these. So they're kind of sharpened to kind of a squarish point. Now these are a little bit smoother. I wouldn't go so far as to say that they're creamy, but they're not as like gritty feeling, and you probably know what I'm talking about. Like some of those pencils that aren't like brand names like Prismacolor or Polychromos, they can be a little bit hard. They can be almost a little gritty feeling. I can't say these are gritty, but I can't say they're super creamy either. Well, so far they're fun just because they're neon, and I have a thing for neon since I was a kid. You know, I wish I had a black light. I wonder if these actually show under a black light, like if you used them on Halloween or you used them for something spooky. I wonder if I have that somewhere. If I do, I'll put it at the end of the video. So far, I actually really like this color. And since we're limited in our palette, we're going to have to see what this comes out like. Meaning, like, is it just going to look like a bunch of neon colors that I can't really manage, or can we actually use neons and make it look pretty? I have to kind of keep an open mind too, because I get not in a rut necessarily, but sometimes when I start, I have a preconceived notion of what I think it should look like. And then once I kind of, get that out of my head and I say, you know what, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be exactly what I think that a flower should look like. Sometimes those are the best results. Sometimes those are the best. I can't even say they're mistakes because they come out so nicely. Okay, if I push a little bit harder, the color does get slightly darker. Let's see what we can do with some yellow. Maybe I'm going to have to get this started a little bit more. The yellow's harder than the other colors. It's also more neon than the other colors, meaning it's very, very glowy. I kind of wish I had put that color down first and then colored over it, because I have a feeling that when you go over this yellow, the yellow is still going to show through. So that might be one of the benefits of it being harder. Let's try this purple. You know what? I'm gonna move the curtain here because we're getting a little sunny highlights that might interfere. Let me see if I can get this over here. Nope. Okay, am I still focused? Let's see. Okay. Like I thought, the purple... You know what? I am going to move this. That's better. Okay. The purple has more pigment. Or it seems to have more pigment because it's a darker color. Okay, I just tried to go over the yellow right there. It doesn't really, they don't go over each other very well. So you might have to modify your coloring a little bit to use these. Like if you're used to using a super creamy Prismacolor pencil, this is very different. These are hard, and I can't say they blend terrifically, but if you, like I said, if you modify the way you're coloring, if you use more lines and more, slightly I guess what linear details would you call it? Rather than trying to fill in a whole area with like smooth and creamy blended strokes, I think that you can still get a really interesting looking flower. Like I like the way this looks, but again, it isn't drawn in that like circular smooth way with the areas left in the center. This is a whole lot of lines and dots and texture blended in. Now, that being said, I think it looks pretty cool. Now, here's something that's probably not the best about... Oh, you know what? Let me try the yellow first. Let me see if I can go over the green with the yellow. There's only one green, but you can use the blue mixed with the yellow, so I'm going to see how that looks also. I'm going to make sure this is centered so you can see that I'm working on the green. Okay. Okay, here's the plain green. And here's the green going over the yellow a bit. Now, I'm pushing as hard as I can with this green, and that's as dark as it'll go. Working with a limited palette has its advantages. You're sort of forced to be creative in ways that you're not used to. So here, I'm thinking I can create another green with the yellow and the blue. And I can also use the blue to create a shadow that could be cast by the flower. Now once again, they're not super dark, and it will give an indication of blue, but it's not super dark. And yet I find this pretty interesting. I like the way this is coming out. You know what? I'm going to try to do one more and see if I can give this flower a different look using the same colors. This time I'm going to use the yellow first. And like I said before, I'm thinking, because this yellow is so hard, that it's going to still show through whatever it, no matter what color I put over it, I think it's still going to show yellow. So let's see. I'm going to go over it with, well, I kind of did that over there. Let me think what I want to do over here. You know what? Let's use the blue. Probably something that I wouldn't normally choose. Yep, so I'm going over the top. And that yellow still stays yellow for the most part. I would say the bottom here would have the most shadow, so I'm going to go dark right here, or darker, as dark as you can with these colors. And then I'm going to go a little bit lighter as I go up. Let me see what it's like to color on the side with these a little bit. The blue, I can't say it's neon, but then again, I don't have a black light with me right now, but it doesn't give a real glowy effect. As far as I can tell so far. I'm going to take a look before the video is over to see if I do have any black lights sitting around somewhere. I know I had in the past done a black light video for a kids project that I did a while ago, but well, cross your fingers. I hope I can find it. Okay, the blue, like I said, is sort of somewhere in the middle of like a Caribbean turquoise and almost a denim. Okay, interesting. Have you ever seen one of those black tulips where like they're so purple that they almost look black? I don't know why, but I love the anomaly flowers, meaning the ones that have incredible patterns on them. I've seen ones that almost look like they have checkerboards on them. I find them fascinating. And this color combo kind of reminds me of that, like that purpley bluish that you almost feel like you shouldn't see in flowers, and then it's so stunning when you actually do see it. So for having only 6 colors in this set, I feel like you can do some really cool things. Let's do that real quick. It almost looks like mermaid colors or something that you would see under the sea. Well, I hope you like these experiments because I love doing them. Once again, they're not something that I would normally choose, so it almost forces me, and I don't plan it ahead on purpose because I want to have to figure something new out. And sometimes when you're forced like that, you end up doing things that you normally wouldn't do. And then the results, of course, are different also. Okay, let's see how this one comes out. I figured I was only going to do one, but these are so interesting. And the results are kind of fascinating, so I'm going to keep going. Once again, I'm not going to do it perfectly because I want to save time for the video, but I want you to be able to see some of the results that you can get from just 6 pencils. You know, now that I'm even thinking about it, maybe I'll speed it up. I'll do all the flowers, I'll record it, but I'll do it quickly. Just to see how many different types we can get. Meaning types like results. They're all the same flower actually. This color is very neon. I'm going to add a little blue in the center of this for depth. I'm going to make some of those lines I was talking about before. I'm keeping the lines more concentrated in the center of the flower. Right about now, I wish I had a little bit of a darker blue. Yeah, maybe I'll add a little purple. Yeah, that adds a little bit more depth and dimension to it. I'll add some of those lines going out also. And on this one, on the edge of the flower, I'll keep the colors a bit lighter. I'll use this as a shadow. I have to say, I really like the flowers done in neon. Let's see what we can do with that one. Let's do this one all purple. You know what? I changed my mind. Let's put a few lines in first of this really neon orange. See how this comes out. I was hoping that was going to happen. You could draw right over the top of it and the orange still shows through. I'll make this a little bit darker because that would sort of be the overlap area. Make that a little bit darker too, and on the bottom maybe add some blue for depth. Add a few blue veins going through. Add some blue to the back petals because those are sort of more in the background. Add a blue lip to the edge of these tulips. Or I should say this tulip. Kind of cool. So like I said, the only thing that I wish is that there was maybe another green. So this I made a little bit darker and this I made a little bit lighter in the background, so there's an illusion of more green than there actually is. I'm going to draw a line right here. It looks like there's a bit of a shadow from that tulip stem. Draw a little bit of blue first on that stem, see how that looks. Cool. The purple is the only color that looks like I didn't blend it enough, so I'm going to add a little bit more individual lines like I did on these other flowers, because with these pencils specifically, they don't blend wonderfully, but you can get cool effects if you use them differently, like I said before. See, that looks better in my humble opinion. And no matter how hard I pushed, those orange lines still showed through. I'll do one more in just pure pink and see how that looks. You know what I'll do? I'll use this bright orange again. I know this is a long review, but this was fun. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Now these two colors are probably in the same range of depth, like the tone is similar. And as I'm coloring this in more, I think the orange is going to show up less, obviously because it's a more similar color, but the depth of the color is similar also. Meaning the purple one up on the left, the orange showed up more because the colors were so different. Well, I have to say it looks pretty cool anyway. Color a little bit darker around the areas that would overlap. And once again, you don't have to copy what I'm doing at all. Maybe I'll put a little purple in there for depth at the bottom. Now, if you're wondering if these colors exist in real tulips, I don't know. And I don't know if I always worry about that. I don't know if that's truly important to me. Sometimes I like creating things that I don't know if they exist or not. So, yeah, maybe it's out there, but maybe I just made something up, which is also very cool. So, these, where's the box? These jumbo CraZart neon jumbo pencils. It says #2 fluorescent leads. I don't quite know what that means, but it sounds like it's actually good for black light. I will look that up for you. So, like I said, there's 6 in here. The leads are a little bit hard. Limited palette, but I'm really happy with the way these flowers came out. I would use them. I would incorporate them into my art, into my coloring, even into my illustrations for kids' books, just because the colors are so pretty and the results, I'm in love with this one. This is probably not something I would have ever thought to create on my own without being forced. You know, that's kind of a cool thing. So maybe just pick six pencils if you don't have this set that are neon looking or bright, or just pick a limited palette and see what you can come up with. So that's it for now. Let's see if I can get this all in at once. There you go. I'm going to review these later in the week, so I'm going to only be using 5. And I'm going to also do tulips to sort of compare and see if I like the markers better or the pencils better. And maybe at the end of this highlighter video, I will add some some pencils over the top. So that's it for now. I hope you hit subscribe if you like this video, and you give me a like and possibly a share. I'm so glad that you join me for these videos because I love doing them for you. So that's it. I'll be doing a giveaway soon. Not today, but coming up once again in June. I do them every month. And that's it. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.